Here we go. I am that which began. Out of me the years roll. Out of me God and man, I am equal and whole. God changes and man and the form of them bodily. I am the soul. Before ever land was, before ever the sea, of soft hair of the grass, of fair limbs of the tree, or the fresh colored fruit of my branches, I was, and thy soul was in me. First life on my sources, first drifted and swam. Out of me are the forces that save it or damn. Out of me, man and woman and wild beast and bird, before God was, I am. Beside or above me, naught is there to go, love or unlove me, unknow me or know. I am that which unloves me and loves. I am stricken, and I am the blow. I, the mark that is missed, and the arrows that miss. I, the mouth that is kissed, and the breath in the kiss. The search, the sought, and the seeker, the soul, and the body that is. I am that thing which blesses, my spirit elate, that which caresses, with hands uncreate, my limbs unbegotten that measure the length of the measure of fate. But what thing dost thou now, looking Godward, to cry, I am I, thou art thou, I am low, thou art high. I am thou, whom thou seekest to find him, find thou but thyself, thou art I. I, the grain and the furrow, the plow cloven clod, and the plowshare drawn thorough, the germ and the sod, the deed and the doer, the seed and the sower, the dust which is God. Hast thou known how I fashioned thee, child, underground? Fire that impassioned thee, iron that bound. Dim changes of water, what thing of all these hast thou known of or found? Canst thou say in thine heart, thou hast seen with thine eyes, with what cunning of art thou wast wrought in what wise? By what force of what stuff thou wast shapen and shown on my breast to the skies? Who hath given, who hath sold it thee? Knowledge of me? Hath the wilderness told it thee? Hast thou learned of the sea? Hast thou communed in spirit with night? Have the winds taken counsel with thee? Have I set such a star to show light on thy brow, that thou sawest from afar what I show to thee now? Have ye spoken as brethren together, the sun and the mountains and thou? What is here? Dost thou know it? What was, hast thou known? Prophet, nor poet, nor tripod, nor throne, nor spirit, nor flesh can make answer, but only thy mother alone. Mother, not maker, born and not made, though her children forsake her, allured or afraid, praying prayers to the God of their fashion, she stirs not for all that have prayed. A creed is a rod, and a crown is of night, but this thing is God, to be man with thy might, to grow straight in the strength of thy spirit and live out thy life. I am in thee to save thee, as my soul in thee saith, give thou, as I gave thee, thy life, blood, and breath, green leaves of thy labor, white flowers of thy thought, and red fruit of thy death. Be the ways of thy giving, as mine were to thee, the free life of thy living, be the gift of it free, not as servant to lord, nor as master to slave, shalt thou give thee to me. O children of banishment, souls overcast, were the lights ye see vanish meant always to last? Ye would know not the sun overshining the shadows and stars overpast. I that saw where ye trod the dim paths of the night, set the shadow called God in your skies to give light, but the morning of manhood is risen, and the shadowless soul is in sight. The tree, many-rooted, that swells to the sky, with frondage red-fruited, the life tree am I. In the buds of your leaves is the sap of my leaves, ye shall live and not die. But the gods of your fashion that take and that give in their pity and passion, that scourge and forgive, they are worms that are bred in the bark that falls off. They shall die and not live. My own blood is what stanches the wounds in my bark. Stars caught in my branches make day of the dark and are worshipped as suns till the sunrise shall tread out the fires as a spark. Where dead ages hide under the live roots of the tree, in my darkness the thunder makes utterances of me. In the clash of my boughs with each other ye hear the waves sound of the sea. That noise is of time, as his feathers are spread and his feet set to climb through the boughs overhead, and my foliage rings round him and rustles, and branches are bent with his tread. The storm winds of ages blow through me and cease, the war wind that rages, that spring wind of peace. Ere the breath of them roughen my tresses, ere one of my blossoms increase. All sounds of all changes, all shadows and lights, on the world's mountain ranges and stream-riven heights, whose tongue is the wind's tongue and language of storm clouds on earth-shaking nights. All forms of all faces, all works of all hands in unsearchable places. Of time-stricken lands, all death and all life, and all rains and all ruins, drop through me as sands. Though sore be my burden and more than ye know, and my growth have no guerdon, but only to grow, yet I fail not of growing, for lightnings above me or death worms below. These two have their part in me, as I too in these. Such fire is at heart in me, such sap in this trees, which hath in it all sounds and all secrets of infinite lands and of seas. In the spring-colored hours when my mind was as maize, there break forth of me flowers by centuries of days. Strong blossoms with perfume of manhood shot out from my spirit as rays. And the sound of them springing and smell of their shoots were as warmth and sweet singing and strength to my roots. And the lives of my children made perfect with freedom of soul were my fruits. I bid you but be. I have not need of prayer. I have need of you free, as your mouths of mine air, that my heart may be greater within me, beholding the fruits of me fair. More fair than strange fruit is of faith's ye a spouse. In me only the root is that blooms in your boughs. Behold now your God that ye made you, to feed him with faith of your vows. In the darkening and whitening, abysses adored, with dayspring and lightning for lamp and for sword, God thunders in heaven and his angels are red with the wrath of the Lord. O my sons, O too dutiful, toward gods not of me, was I not enough beautiful? Was it hard to be free? For behold, I am with you and am in you and of you. Look forth now and see. Lo, winged with world's wonders, with miracles shod, with the fires of his thunders, for raiment and rod, God trembles in heaven, and his angels are white with the terror of God. For his twilight is come on him, his anguish is bare, and his spirits gaze dumb on him. grow gray with his fear, and his hour taketh hold on him stricken, the last of his infinite year. Thought made him and breaks him, truth slays and forgives. But to you, as time takes him, this new thing it gives. Even love, the beloved republic that feeds upon freedom and lives. For truth only is living, truth only is whole, and the love of his giving, man's pole star and pole, man pulse of my center and fruit of my body and seed of my soul. One birth of my bosom, one beam of mine eye, one topmost blossom that scales the sky. Man equal and one with me, man that is made of me, man that is I. Anyway, that's the poem. I hope you enjoy it. Enjoyed it. I find it really fascinating how much, to me, that text is very similar to some of the texts that I've read before that were, you know, some 4,300 years older. I think Enheduanna and Algernon Swinburne, like, you know, there's a distinct connection there. Maybe, I'm not even sure if he was aware of any of that Sumerian poetry. It's quite possible he had no access to translations, but yeah, Heartha Ayrton particularly loved that poem as being a critique of modern religious dogma. I kind of love it as that, but also as, you know, pagan goddess worship. So, you know, you get out of it what you want.